should be should go well. Or we should have
Dylan,
everyone we need. Hey, Jewel, how's it going, man?
good.
Um, Let me double check YouTube is recording, and then you can get started through your
Yeah,
watch
I got
list.
you.
Are you on computer or mobile? You're kind of faint.
My phone.
Um,
Can you not hear me or no?
no, we can.
It
Yeah,
just
it's a bit
sounds like
better.
a phone.
It's
You see, Dylan?
It just sounds like a phone.
I'm on my AirPods. That's why.
Fucking Apple. I'm shorting.
Short
all right. Oh, I'm not sharing screen. My bad. Jewel, do you want to share your screen, or I gotta do it? I haven't seen.
You have to do it, but I gotta send you these quick.
Yeah, start sending them over because I haven't gotten anything.
Uh,
Yeah, unless you posted to Twitter already, but I don't think you.
nah, just give me a second, bro. I gotta
All
send them
good.
to you. You can start doing whatever you want to do quick. It'll take me like five minutes.
All right. Um, yeah, it's not a lot of time, so I guess for now is for any of the newer members, are there any general questions you want to go over? I can start to tackle some of those questions um, while Jewel prepares his stuff. Or not. Let me see. All right, I guess what I can do then, so I'll go over. We can do a quick recap of. I wasn't trading today. I was busy at work, but I know MP was one of the bigger plays today, or one of the nicer plays. So here, I guess we can just go over MP. Um, so let me see at open. I think I had these two nodes defined since last week, 1024. Why is this showing last Friday? Am I tripping? Oh, yeah, my bad. Okay. Yes, this is pretty straightforward. This is like the more classic setup that I usually talk about, where we're inside range and we just have an upside and downside nodes.
నేర్పిస్తున్నాడు 24 years old. ఇది
Oh,
నేర్పిస్తున్నాడు 24 years old. వాడు దాన్ని నేర్చుకొని గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ అయ్యి వీడు వేరే టీచ్ చేస్తున్నాడు ఇప్పుడు. వీడు ఎలివేట్ చేశాడు. ఇంకోటి 26.
okay. Um, yeah. So
Sorry, one flip through.
nah, all good. I think I muted him right after and it let him talk again, so my bad. But yeah, this is our more classic setup, right, where we have an upside node, downside node, both with good volume, as well as on VEX. You know, GEX and VEX both showing same levels. Like I've said many times, right? Like I know a lot of times these maps look almost too simple, and it kind of just is, right? Like you just set a level at each side, right, at 74 and 63, and just see which side taps, and then just play off that bounce, right? So for today, you know, we dipped on MP early on, tap 63. So already, as soon as we tap there, that's where you're looking to take entry. Again, make sure you're taking something that is a safe strike, right? Like I'm not saying go take 74 calls. You're trying to take something that's, you know, even if we reach the midpoint, you'll still be in the money and have good profits. So I don't know the price of these contracts, but probably something around 66, 67 was probably not too expensive. I would have to verify that, but yeah, anything under 70 probably would still be fine strike wise. And then yeah, like you saw, I mean, we hovered about an hour around 63, but we got a pretty sudden rejection there. So you know, this is like A plus map setup, and you know, it's really example of if you have these clearly defined levels, you're setting alerts on TradingView, you actually don't need to monitor this chart, right? Like if you know, if you're at work, whatever it may be, once you get the alert, then you can just come back in. So this alert would have triggered around 11. So you can come back into the heat map at that moment just verify we still have good volume at 74. That the thesis is still intact overall. Gex showing like a really strong floor node, and then verify that, and then you can you take entry there and just let it play out, right? Like I know it hunted down to 62.5. So actually it didn't hunt very much under. I've seen setups where we do hunt even like $1, $2 under. But regardless, that's why if sized properly, once you see this node tap, enter in there small size, and just give it some time to play out. So don't be micromanaging these trades either, which should be easy to do if you're sizing appropriately, right? Micromanaging tends to come around when you're oversized. So if you're practicing good habits on entries, sizing, etc., this was a very clear map, and a pretty, we did have like about a 30-minute window where you could have entered this trade. So MP today is, probably one of the best setups. These are like one of the best setups you'll see all week, right? Where we just got a pretty strong immediate bounce off of that node. Sorry, let me open the chat.
Nico, I'm good.
Okay, so let me start pulling up some of Jules' stuff. Wait 1 second. There's a limit on Discord viewers?
Yeah, it caps out at 100.
Oh, jeez. I didn't know that. Okay, thanks.
Just tell them to, I don't know, watch on YouTube.
Yeah, I linked to YouTube, so I guess for anyone that's over that limit, they can swap over there. Okay. Yeah, Jewel, let me start pulling up some of your stuff that you just sent me.
All right.
Wait, give me a second here. I'm just gonna open all of them real quick. Jesus, bro. Okay. Yeah, that should be all of them. Yeah, Jewel, you can talk through them, and I'll pull up the maps as you talk through them.
Okay, so I charted UNH because I heard a lot of you guys talking about it in the Discord. There is earnings Thursday, so pretty much all TA kind of just goes out the window for earnings. But there are lots of upside targets on this, and it looks like it's wedging up a little bit, which could lead to a huge move. And it does have a gap fill upwards. I mean, that's not going to get filled anytime soon. But I think a good earnings will be a catalyst to shoot this upwards, especially with Heatseeker having lots of upside nodes for the next few weeks. So I kind of just try this with you guys. Doesn't really matter because earnings are coming, but we might get a pre-earnings push, which would be perfect out of this wedge. So look at this one if we get a pre-earnings move. Dylan, can you mute anyone who's unmuted?
Yeah, I'm trying to trade right now. Who's talking?
You can skip out of this, Nico. I'm just looking for this one. I'm just looking for maybe a pre-earnings run-up. Earnings are Thursday, so if we break out of here and we start pushing upwards, we can probably see 375, 380 before earnings, which would be perfect. You can go to the next one. You
Yeah.
also make the left screen. You can zoom in on the left screen, right? There's no reason to keep it small.
Can I what?
You can zoom in on the left screen. I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh, yeah. Is it not showing visible?
I mean, it's better
Is that
this way.
better?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So you can see at the 38 level how it used to be resistance. It tapped it 3 times. We finally broke out today, so it is not a perfect entry. And that yellow zone there, you can see it's not really showing on Heatseeker, but that 40 level, the big psych level, we've already rejected it. So if you were looking to play you, or you have this on your watch list, I would wait until we break above 40 to potentially play that 42 node that some of you guys may have been eyeing. Just because of the potential of, you could see in the past that we rejected from that level there. We don't know if we're going to do it again, if that's a big gatekeeper. So I would wait until we break in base above 40 and target that 42 node if you were trying to eye this play.
All right, you can move to the next.
Next
Yo,
one.
Gil, is there any way you can get to an area with a better mic?
You trying to send me a mic, bro?
I will. God, yes.
All right, I'll send you my address.
Nah, Dylan, don't
done.
send one, bro. This is funnier.
What? This motherfucker makes like 15 mil a year.
Why are you doubting my income?
I just threw a number out there, bro.
No,
All
send me
right,
your address. I'll send you a mic, please.
all right.
Have an
All
extra.
right, Rocket Lab, this is what killed a lot of you guys today. See that yellow zone? How we rejected, that was our low of day on Friday. And if you go back a little bit more too, it was also a bounce off of before. A lot of you guys tried shorting into this zone here, and you guys got fucked because you're not looking back in time, and you're just playing off the maps, which we advise doesn't come first. Charting comes first. So, that high of day over there, that white line, if you were eyeing upside, if we break above that, we could go back to the 70 level, which is that golden zone over there. The prices are kind of cut out in Rico's screen. But if you're looking to short, yeah, there you go. If you're looking to short down to that 55 node or that 58 node, whatever it is, I would wait until we break below that yellow zone, because shorting into it just might not work again, and you're just gonna get fucked again. So I would say if you break in base below that yellow zone, you could eye that downside node. Or if we break above 66, there is that purplish node at what price, Nico? On the left map. That's like 72, right? Or 71.
This purple, yeah, 72.
Yeah, which, would you look at that? Puts us right at that yellow zone. So, all these maps and all these nodes are adding up and making sense on our maps and on our charts. That's how you play that, That 72 node could grow, which is just a retest of that yellow zone. I would wait until we break above 66 or 67 to try to play that, or wait until we break below that zone we bounced on today and eye the downside target. So right now in the middle of these two, that yellow zone and that white line, there's not much to do because you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know what's going to happen. So that's what we say when you wait for confirmation. This is what waiting for confirmation is. So that could be a potential play down this week that ends up following through. So just something to keep an eye on. Set your alarms and just wait and see what happens. There's no reason to hawk watch this thing. So yeah. All right, PLTR. I'm in calls on this.
Giuliano.
It's good.
Yo, Jewel.
What up?
Dude,
So
I'm here as well.
What's up, John? Thanks
So,
for joining. Sorry, Joe.
for
Go ahead.
35 days, you're good. For 35 days, that whole block of sideways chop you see, that's 35 days of chop. We're finally breaking above 190, and I think that if we break in base above this yellow zone here, we can see high. We can see higher there. We can see probably 200, which was lit up more with volume today, but faded out. The only thing I'm not really liking, you'll be able to see it better when I send the charts in on the swing ideas, is that how this daily candle is looking here with that long top wick. It's not really appetizing to me, but we broke above structure. We broke above that 190 level finally. And I think after hours right now, we're actually retesting the zone and bouncing. if you go to like Robinhood and take a look at it. So I think potentially we could see that 192.5 level, and above that, 200 could come. I'm aiming more of the upside on this one than downside because we broke above that yellow zone. We broke towards the upside, so this is not like a downside play. I'm eyeing. If it ends up crashing all the way back down to 172, then so be it. But it just wasn't my conviction. It wasn't what I was eyeing. So I'd probably just exit the trade and move on. But I think this is something to watch, especially if we get some news on this one. So yeah.
You can move to the next.
Yeah. All right, MP. Wow, you really can't. Yeah, can you zoom in a little bit on the left? So Nico just went over this one. You guys sniped that 63 level, and a lot of you are wondering why I mentioned to exit at 66 or at least trim a lot of your position. If you notice the two circles, the one on the left over there and the one on the right, it was a previous support. We broke below it, came up, retested it as now a resistance. So you don't know what's going to happen at that level, even though that upper node, 74 is lit up. You ignore that. You ignore those nodes when the TA doesn't align. And we came up, retested that previous support, turned to resistance. Not saying that node's out of play, and there is also a gap fill to the upside. But in order for me to want to play this to the upside, you want to break past that previous support, now turn into resistance. We might actually come back down to that 63 level again after we reject the 66 level, and then end up breaking it later on this week, depending how these nodes look. But as of right now, I'm waiting for 63 retest, or I'm waiting for a break of that 66 level to try to target that gap fill on the upside. You can move to the next.
All right, Google.
Perfect breakout here. The best entry was that break at 256, or the retest of that trend line at the bottom, the two red circles I circled over there. Those are probably your best entries, or at 256. Now we're going on an amazing run. And off heat seeker, if you pull up the heat seeker for GOOG, not GOOGL. This is probably why a lot of you guys missed this move. If you look at the maps that Nico has up right now, there's nothing on it for this week at all. If you go to GOOG, now these are the maps that you want to use, and these are the maps that I was eyeing for today. So a lot of you guys probably looked at the Google Maps over the weekend, didn't see much at all, and it had an amazing day today. I actually noticed that too, and that's why I flipped the GOOG maps, and those are the maps that have like 270 lit, 285s lit. So I use those maps to play this today, or to actually have this on the watch list for today and end up playing it. But 270 is lit as a major level right here on this map, and 285 is also the king node for this week. If you missed this morning, I don't think it's done for the week. I think a very easy way to play this will be waiting for the break of 270, which is a big psychological level. It's a nice even number. If we break above that and retest it, I think we can actually see that 285 node that's lit up for this week. So yeah, best bet would be obviously rejecting 270 and maybe buying at another support below it. But if we gap up tomorrow, maybe get a dip at open off 270, that would be a great play to buy that for this week or next week.
Jewel, do you know if typically Google, like GOOGL or GOOG, is it always GOOG that is going to show these moves, or does it vary? I'm curious.
I usually just look at GOOGL.
Okay.
That usually has the notes for this week, but I don't know why one shows it and one doesn't. It's really weird. I know they move hand in hand and they move the same. Yeah, I don't know why GOOGL wasn't showing it, but this one was. And I mean, I knew, like, basing off this map, they move hand in hand and move the same way.
Right.
I just use this as a watch list for today.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was curious if it was always one or the other, but it seems like it flips.
I think a lot of people probably missed that move because they were looking at the wrong map.
Right.
All right,
Okay, here's
Carvana.
Carvana.
I tried this because someone in the Discord was like looking at it too. If you draw that line at like 360, I mean, it's so simple to see the amount of times it was support and the amount of times it was resistance. You know, Heatseeker has it as an upside no lit for this week, meaning we're gonna break past it. I wouldn't trust that yet until we see price action. Because you can also see putting like last week we hit it twice in that area and rejected it. You know, 360 is a huge level right now. Heatseeker's sitting upside. You can honestly probably play puts off of this too. But I'm just putting this out there for whoever was charting it, whoever was looking at it. But like that 360 level is your major key. You know, if you break and base above it, you can probably see 400 or like 390. If you reject that, you can probably see more downside. But right now, you know, you got a big purple node upside, you got a big yellow node upside. So it's saying we're gonna break it. I would just wait until, you know, we break above 360, retest it, and go from there. We move to the next. All right, CoreWeave. CoreWeave is just one of those stocks that I always have, you know, on watch. It's kind of like a Tesla mover kind of thing where it just makes these crazy moves randomly. So I always like to have it, you know, prepared in case it does move. You can see that 132 line that was support previously. We're holding it now, but we're making a nice resistance at like 136 over there where that white line is drawn with the arrow. It does have a major note to the upside and does have a major note to the downside. So that's probably why we like all day today we just chopped sideways. You can see that there on today's chart. But I think if we break above today's higher day, we can get a push higher to that yellow node. I would just want to see that downside node kind of fade out a little bit and the upside node grow volume. So this is kind of like something that, you know, today wasn't really a good play unless you sniped 132. But I think later on throughout this week, if that upside grows and we break above like that 137 level, I think we could probably play this to like 140, 145. So it's just something. CoreWeave is one of those stocks I just always have on watch. Like same with Tesla too. So pretty good here. All right, CRCL, another one of those stocks that I pretty much always have on watch. You can see last week, you know, that bottom snipe buy was so easy to see. This is why, you know, you zoom out. This is probably what, like a month back. Zoom out, draw your zones. You can see we tapped it 4 times. Last week when we are coming down to that level, that would be easy ass buy, and you'd be up so much right now. You'd be up $20 on the stock on options. So, how was your ideal buy there? You know, it does have what's that upside node? That purple node?
155.
Yeah, it has 155 lit, which if you look at my top line, does it make sense? Yes, it's just the retest of that previous, you know, price action all the way in the middle of the chart. So that lines up perfectly. And if you mark that support from that sideways chop from previously, that's at 145 or 146 where we rejected today. So it's very easy to see, you know, when you draw your support resistances, everything starts to make sense. I would probably play calls off this. And even that 138 level I've drawn, that was previous resistance too. Now it's flipped to support. So you could buy off that 138 and see if you're going to push up. I would probably wait till we break 146, depending on how big, you know, how these maps look. So the levels I'm eyeing is 138, 146, and then 155. Those are your 3 major levels. Below 138, if we fall, you could play puts downwards. We just don't know what's going to happen, but Heatseeker right now is showing us upside. So I have my chart prepared for the upside. My conviction just follows what the maps tell us. So I would be eyeing this maybe off 138. We just have to see how it opens up tomorrow and the rest of this week. But that 146 level, obviously we rejected today. It's going to be a major problem if we can't break it. So, yeah.
Next.
All right, Baba. I swung these into today, and I sold out for like 50%. You know, if you once I send these pictures in and you zoom in, that 180 level, we're just sideways chopping right below it, which is perfect. We gapped up, sideways consolidation under a major 180 level. I think easy play. If we break that, come back down and retest it, you can buy calls to get that 190 and maybe 200 level. Actually, no 200, just that 190. Easy play. You know, just wait for 180 to break and retest, and then buy calls off that level for that 190 node. It's very simple. Looks good. You know, we might get a gap up tomorrow because I'm not really a fan of playing China. It gaps up a lot, but that's something I'm eyeing. I love how it's just sideways consolidation under it, and you know, it looks good to me. So just wait for that 180 break. There's no reason to play calls under it because we could reject. You know, you don't want to be trapped in a trade. So I'm waiting for that 180 to break. All right, you can go to the next one. There's so many, bro. ASTS, you know, the map looked good today. I played this. We do have this yellow area, which is like what, 80? Can you say that the yellow notes for me? Is that 79, 80?
80 and 81.
Yeah, so that 80, 81 is that green zone I have drawn. And the targets above that is that, you know, 87 area that's yellow. It's moving up after hours, so we have to see how this opens tomorrow. But I think if you hold that green zone, you'll be able to see that yellow. So something I'm eyeing. It's gonna be a continuation play. You know, if you didn't get in it today, you kind of missed the boat. But off Heat Seeker, there is still more upside over 80. So if we come back down and test that green zone, we could probably see that yellow zone this week. So just because, you know, it ran one day doesn't mean it's out of the equation for the whole week. So I'm keeping this one on watch too. All right, AMD. Same exact setup as Baba. You know, 260. You know, Baba had 180. AMD has 260. Kind of, you can over time when you start charting plays, a lot of setups are going to look the same as others. You know, AMD broke out there where that arrow's drawn with the circle. That was your ideal entry. I kind of had that charted for a while. That was when I was in New York, so I think that was what, Friday or Thursday it broke through. Now we're coming up at 260 here. I think we're sideways shopping below it. I think if we break and, like, you know, come back retest, I think you can see 270, 275, which is the yellow. It's all purple nodes stacked above the yellow. The yellow is 260. So I think if we come back down and retest that as support, I think the purple will probably send this up higher. So that's why I have it on watch, especially with AMD, you know, looking strong, looking good. So it's all based on that 260 level. Same as Baba is based off that 180 level. There's not much to see here. You know, maybe we do reject 260 and come back down to 242 and retest the breakout area. That would be an amazing buy too. So it's just all depending on what we do around 260. But right now the map's, you know, stacked purple on top. So I'm basing my TA off what I see in the maps. So I'm keeping a lookout for this one for the rest of the week. Go to the next one. All right, CMG. I just charted this because, you know, some of you were asking about it today for, you know, puts. You know, the top white line at 42. You could see how previously it was used as support, and then it flipped to resistance. It's kind of like in this little, like, higher low being created. I think if we break that structure downwards, you would have that 40 support first, which is a big psychological level, and you can see there that you kind of bounced off it before. And I think under that is where you see that 3850 level on Heat Seeker. You can also notice how 3850 is a support at the bottom of this, like, kind of upwards trend. So it could possibly make sense to end up retesting that. I think if you break, you know, that trend line downwards, you have 40, and then I think below that is where you'll see 3850. So those are the two levels that I'm eyeing for this one. For whoever else was, thinking of taking this play. I think if you snipe 42, 30, you have your best entry there. You should be swinging puts. So if anyone else is eyeing this for tomorrow or the rest of the week, like that's kind of how I play it. All right, ADBE. I gave this to you guys like 2 weeks ago. I told you guys buy calls off 330 at least 20 times, and already that's $27 upside move. And if you look at my chart, you can see why I said this. Just draw your supports out. Draw that big yellow zone. We tapped it 3 times previously. So that's what I noticed, and that's why I told you guys, hey, like ADBE might be a perfect buy at 330. Ended up being amazing. I don't think it's done, and Heatseeker is not showing upside on this one, and it wasn't showing upside on it either at 330, I believe, if I remember right. When I actually wanted to, told everyone to buy it. We're sideways chopping under this 360 level again, same as like 2 other stocks so far. So I think it's a pretty easy play to the upside. If we break above that, I think we could end up seeing 370. The only thing I want to see is upside nodes form for this week, which there's not really any right now. There's just a downside node. So this is something I haven't watched. I'm kind of going against the map on this one. I want to see how it plays out and see, how the map adjusts itself, or if we end up actually rejecting here all the way back down. I just don't think we are. So I want to see how this one looks. So I just have this one I watch. So we can go to the next. How many
Wait,
more are there,
what?
Nico?
That's it? Did you send me
Oh,
more stuff?
perfect. No, it should be it.
Yeah, that's all your stuff.
All right, I'm gonna
Send
send.
all these to the swing idea so you guys can like actually zoom in and take a better look at them and stuff. But yeah, it should be it right there. All right.
Okay. Thanks, Jewel. Wait, there's questions for you, I think. Jewel can read voice channel chat, or do I gotta tell you the question too?
I mean, I can look and see.
There's just one question from Josh.
Why are we expecting all these nodes to get broken to upside? Is this due to current bull market? What ticker in specific?
I think he's just saying
you
in
looking at?
general for most of these plays.
I mean, based off heat map, I mean they're all, most of them all have only upside targets.
Oh, also apparently UNH earnings is tomorrow morning, so
No, it is.
yeah, just neglect that setup, everyone, probably.
Wait, you're right.
Oh,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they're
you're
also
right.
asking, someone's asking what time frame you're charting most of these, or does it vary?
Time frame. I usually go backwards, so I go daily, 4 hour, 2 hour, and then your, 30-minute, 15-minute. The daily and 4 hour give you a better overall view of structure on these charts, which in theory would help your plays out. Helps you chart, helps you get a better picture of these plays and what you should be expecting. The daily is a good one. You start at 4 hour, and then you work your way down. So this is too late. 400 calls already loaded. Why do I think UNH earnings were Thursday? Well,
Okay, yeah. Any other questions for Joel? Otherwise, I can sort of just start going through list of tickers for anyone who's interested there, or for any other tickers people want to look at. Oh fuck! Wait, Joel, Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Thanks, Jewel, for sharing some of that. He sent everything that we just discussed in Swing Ideas too for anyone who wants to like check the charts, um, check the maps on their own. All right, yeah, let me pull up my trading view and then we can sort of start looking through some of these other tickers. All right, yeah, just making sure there's no other messages before I get started. All right, yeah, if UNH has earnings tomorrow, please, or I guess, yeah, market's close, so in general, it's just better to not play earnings, y'all, though. So it's probably for the best. Okay, so people wanted to look at Starbucks. So yeah, I do remember Starbucks had strong nodes at 36 last week. 36. 86? Am I tripping? Yeah, at 86 last week. We didn't get much of a reaction off of it, so then it sort of dragged over towards this week. The only thing with Starbucks is I think before, actually still, the 75 node is larger. This 82 node may be sort of a resistance to downside, so I don't know how inflated those contracts are for earnings, but make sure you're buying something that's realistically, that's not too far out of the money. Otherwise, you're just gonna get cooked on the IB crush. Well, I mean, either way, you might just get cooked on the IB crush, anyways. So that's the only thing I'll say on Starbucks is be careful with these earnings plays and make sure um, you're buying an appropriate strike. TEM, yeah, I can look at TEM. Yeah, today I probably won't go through the whole list of tickers because I'm tired and I keep rolling into work at ungodly hours, so can't stay up too late. So TEM, let me see here. Okay, so TEM, it looks like, let me see, this map is kind of everywhere. It looks like we have a strong pocket at 95.96, so that would be around these 3 wicks here. So we have a strong level here. Another strong level, 87, 88. So I guess we're kind of looking at like this area here. Actually, let me delete this 90. I don't want to get too cluttered. Yeah, I guess the issue with TEM. Let me see. Honestly, the bias is very slightly upwards, but it's honestly pretty neutral. Like we do have good volume down here at the 79.80. We also have some volume up here at 103, 101. So I'd probably just be looking for bounces off one of these stronger pockets on the GEX. So either this 87-ish area or this 96-ish area. I don't love this play. Typically, the plays I like to take are going to be off the like the very extreme side. So I would be waiting for like 79.80 or this 101, 103. Now, I don't know if we'll actually get a tap of one of those in a reversal. It may be more likely that one of these closer, sort of like internal, or I guess I call them intermediate nodes, right? If they're between the upper extreme and lower extreme. Most likely the good plays will come off of those. I prefer not to take those plays because I've had many times, where say we dip towards 87, try to play a bounce there, and it actually just drops all the way towards 80. So I always prefer to play the maximum upside or downside notes. So TEM, I'd probably won't be looking at. But if we do get this, like if this volume grows a lot, then maybe it sort of be a better, it'd become a better play in my eyes. But um, BYND, I don't even know if I should check this map or this chart. Yeah, honestly, BYND, I wouldn't even play it. We had the huge squeeze last week, which sold off like almost just as quick. So I don't even know what these maps look like. Yeah, these maps, they're a mess. I would just don't play BYND. It probably also has inflated volatility as well. Like there's just many more safer things you can play. Okay. All right, 1 second. Let me switch back to the actual voice channel chat real quick. What the hell? Jay's in here? Yeah, bro, I got you. So for Lyft, this dude, rare occurrence. Lyft. Let me see here. Oh, let me check this chart. Yeah, so Lyft actually has really good level here, like this 20.7. Previous resistance has now been, or sorry, previous support has been resistance twice. So this is our third third or fourth tap. So actually, I'd be expecting this might break soon. We do have also very strong upside pull this week. This OPEX node is strong, but again, this is an OPEX node, so I guess I would still expect upward movements on Lyft into OPEX, it seems like, but I would prefer to see something in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, for this week, Lyft does look very positive. Now, I think if we dip today, yeah, we did. So today we bounced off of 20. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess the point I was gonna make is at least based on nodes on map, probably want to be waiting even towards 18.5. But for Lyft, a move from 20 to 23 is likely still very nice gains. I'd have to check how those contracts move, but you probably still make very nice gains on those just because it is a relatively inexpensive stock. So a $1 or $2 move, and in this case, a $3 move will give you like pretty large gains. The only thing on Lyft I'd watch out for is this 22 node. If this 22 node starts stacking a lot more volume, could step in as a ceiling, but this 20.6-ish level, I think has like a pretty good chance of cracking towards upside, just due to the fact that it's been tested quite a few times. But yeah, like I said, it's I guess this play is missing like a solid floor, so it's up to y'all if y'all want to chase that upside node or not. Okay, now sorry, I saw Jay's message at the beginning. Let me go back up. I think I missed a few. Okay, Starbucks already went through. Chipotle, Jewel went through. Baba, Trippe, Baba, Jewel went through that one, so you can just watch the YouTube replay. Okay, yeah, I can do SoundHound. Yeah, so SoundHound also has a pretty good map. This 19.5 level sort of lines up here with this wick from, what is this, from September? Actually, this wick is a bit under, but still relatively close. This 14.5 node, I'd be surprised if we drop that much. Oh, I have an alert. Sorry, let me delete this alert. Yeah, I wouldn't play this 14.5 as a target. If we do tap this 19.5, and we still have good volume downside. I would try puts off of that. Only warning I'll give there is I'd be surprised if we really drop down to 14.5. So just if you are targeting puts, make sure you're taking a pretty close strike to the money. Sanhan is a pretty cheap stock, so that shouldn't be too expensive. So yeah, I'd be pretty conservative with what strike you're selecting if you're gonna play this. And it has earnings next week. Yeah, yeah. So it's also you're not risking earnings on this play either. So okay. HAL. um. Whoa, what did I pull up? Whoops, my bad. Pulled the wrong one. Let me see here. HAL. Yes, 25 levels pretty good. Here. I don't know if this shows better on the daily or what, but no, honestly, it doesn't. Yeah, so this 25-ish, 25.2 level. There's a couple weeks where we held a support, held its resistance a couple times, but then it also rejected here in September. So this level's quite strong for a bounce. I guess we don't really have a ceiling on this ticker, so I probably wouldn't short this just because there's a lack of a ceiling. But absolutely, I would mark off 25 and wait for if we get a retest. So if we come retrace towards this 25 level, bounce off of this either this previous high or some a bit lower. This setup does look quite good if we're trying to play bounce off this 25. You can use it as a target, but again, that's you're introducing a bit of risk there, and we don't know. Um, because there is no ceiling, we don't know how much further they could push it up or how long they could chop it here before bringing it down towards that 25 level. So I would probably just mark out 25. If it does get tapped, then you take a look and see, if we have some upside into next week or if we have a bit of some node with more volume this week. But yeah, this is a very strong level on the map, so I'd be surprised if that 25 broke under. Okay, so HAL, Duolingo. Okay, so Duolingo. Okay, also earnings next week. Seems we have a strong node at 285. Now let me see here. Yeah, so we do have a strong level at 285. I would watch out with 295 just because it's been a strong support in the past. But again, I guess this Duolingo setup, there's definitely a strong floor. I'm not seeing a very close ceiling for us to bounce off of. So for this one, I'd either be waiting for this 285 to tap and then playing that reversal back upwards. And even then, for that one, like you could buy some time, see if you play this node that's 2 weeks out. The only risk there being next week we have earnings on Duolingo, so you'd be covering earnings on that play. But yeah, these upside ceilings are very hard to. At least right now, they're pretty scattered, and it's not all of that volume on one node. So I'd be pretty hesitant to short off 330 or 335 just because, there's a chance they keep stacking volume above that. So the bounce off 285 is quite clean, but right now we're in the mid range. I wouldn't be trying to target either side just because obviously 285 is the king node at 10.7 10,700. But if you're looking at, if you start summing all of this upside pull, this actually gets to a pretty similar number. So I would not be trying to guess which way Duolingo is going to start going right now. Okay. 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 Hello. Yeah. Let me check that one. And for anyone listening, I'm going through the voice channel chat, and then I'll check the other. I think these people ping me in a different channel. Wait, for anyone that's on YouTube, you can also just type in the YouTube. There's a YouTube chat too. Yeah, so okay, hello. So honestly, these nodes are a bit weak, especially these intermediate ones are like around 133, 130, and all of those. Let me clear my chart, sorry. Probably what I'd be looking at here is this 150. Let's see. Yeah, so we have like this wick here from 150, well, close to 150, and then all the way down at 125. I guess would be like this level here. Where it was previous resistance, couple times support. Sorry, previous support, couple times resistance. Um, yeah, and I guess this is a good example of like, when you do have a node or a map where we have such a wide range. Like when people first join Heatseeker or Asgard, they're like something they're trying to. A lot of times, what they'll try to do is see like what's the how does the delta change intraday, etc., and then try to get, try to guess which way it's going to end up going. Yeah, and I guess part of what you can do is if you just set alerts at each of these levels, it doesn't matter which way it goes. Once we get to one of them, tap them, then you can try playing that reversal. It's a much simpler process. It's also much less, it's a lot less time investment, right? Because you set these alerts and you don't enter a play until you get notification of one of those tapping. So, yeah, okay, well, I'd probably just wait for either this 125 or this one 150-ish level. Yeah. I guess this 125 bounce would also likely be a fib retracement, so that just adds like a bit of extra. I guess another confluence there. So yeah, that would be a first golden pocket tap. Um, line up with this node on Heatseeker. So yeah, so maybe this 125 is not a bad level to set an alert. Okay, hello, Amazon. Yeah, again, Amazon has earnings, so I don't want to anything with earnings. I don't want to say too much on because, yeah, I mean, with Heatseeker you can have a bit of a better idea, but I don't want to sound like I'm encouraging anyone to play earnings. Like I personally don't play earnings myself, so or I haven't in a while, so I don't typically recommend people do earnings. But yeah, Amazon, we have pretty nice support resistance flip here. Let me delete some of this other stuff. Actually, I'll leave those. Let me take a look here. Yeah, so it seems upside is definitely favored. Same here as what I've said for a couple of them, though. It's like we don't have a strong floor to play off of. And we have this big zone from 235 to 240 that has decent volume. That if that grows, that could project price. So that 240 to, so that would be around here. So these previous, couple of swing highs, there's risk that we reject that one of those. So yeah, even though I know sort of our peak node is up at 250, yeah, at least on the short term, I'd be watching for in case we reject one of these. I guess this box is, you can extend it a bit further out, right? So, yeah. But again, we have earnings when Thursday morning, yeah. So I would just be cautious there. You can try to play earnings run, like the earnings run up, but Yeah, if you're trying to take plays on earnings, it's just very risky overall. Okay, so Amazon, HIMS. Okay, yeah, let me take a look at HIMS. HIMS has had pretty good maps actually lately, so let me see here. Um, so this map looks quite good on Vex, where we have 45 as floor and 53 as our ceiling. I know last week, was this last week? No, it was last Friday actually. So off of 53, I think we did reject last week or close to it. It seems like it's trying to catch a floor here at 45, but even this 46, this previous wick here from last week could be our floor there. So let me see here. Yeah, so honestly, this 46 level is quite strong. It goes pretty far back. You know, a few times support, resistance, support, resistance here. So honestly, yeah, if we can come tap either, I would say we can see if we can come tap this large 46 level. And even better if we dip towards this 45. That'd be pretty strong for a reversal upwards. These upside nodes, I'd have to see how this volume develops. Obviously, 2 weeks ago we dropped pretty large on HIMS, and even last week we dropped a bit. So we'd have to see how many of those nodes, if they start to fade or if they stay strong, then that can still be a nice area to short off of if this 52 and 53 node keeps those stacks like they have right now. FFAI, is this even on FFAI and OCG? I mean, yeah, I can chart them, but we don't have Heatseeker for those. So let me see, FFAI. Okay, so I have charted this before. I don't remember doing this. Yeah, again, I don't know what this is. Faraday. Oh, it's an electric company. Okay. Yeah, I guess what I would say for FFAI, we had a pretty nice trend line. Seems like we already broke, retested, and bounced. So probably any play from here is more of a chase than anything. I guess you could be playing the breakout at this level at around 1.55. But again, I would typically with these setups, what I'm either looking for is the bounce off the floor or the retest play off trend line. So I would say this one's probably already, it has passed by. OCGN. Yeah, so I actually have no idea what this stock is. I don't really play a lot of these like super cheap tickers, but it had a pretty nice flag a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. Actually, that's a super nice. Yeah, I mean the setup was great a couple months ago. For right now, yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't say too much here. I mean, it seems to be dropping after this large breakout and pump. I would typically I look for sort of a deeper retrace. So if you draw your fib retracements, I typically like to wait for either the 0.707 level. Oh, they're on the other side. This 0.707 or one of the golden pockets. So I probably wouldn't look at OCGN. But again, I also don't have much experience playing tickers this cheap, so you may want to ask someone who has a bit more experience there. Can I check SPX? Like the map, or do you mean a recap, or do you mean for tomorrow? Let me see here for tomorrow. So for tomorrow, it looks like, let me see here. We have a bit of upside pull. Yeah, I'd say it seems pretty biased upwards as well. But again, like these maps reshuffle so hard intraday that I typically don't look at them much after hours. Okay. TTD. Oh, sorry, John. I just read the message. Yeah, TTD. I mean, this 49 level is actually quite strong. So if we come sort of like double bottom here, I wouldn't mind that play at all. For upside though, yeah. So like playing rejection off any of these nodes is, let me see, how 55 is a bit risky just because we may hunt, 57, 58. And also with next week pointing upwards, I probably wouldn't be wanting to short this. So yeah, I'd prefer if we get some form of pullback all the way in double bottom here. But yeah, I'd be surprised if we get that option for entry. Okay, DraftKings. Okay, let's see here. Wow, this is a super weird node of 46. Is there something I'm missing here? Okay, so yeah, it looks like DraftKings here approaching this 32.5 node. 32.5 and 32 have okay volume on VEX. On GEX, it's a bit healthier. Yeah, I guess one of the main issues here, the nodes look quite good actually. The bigger issue is maybe that this level has been tested a few times. So can still look to take entry. I'll just, yeah, size appropriately, seeing that we've already tapped this node quite a few times. But yeah, this setup actually, yeah, it looks good. I think the other thing to look at here is what expiration. Obviously this week has pretty good nodes up towards 34, 34 and a half. The VEX has a weird node at 46, so I would probably ignore that. They don't have earnings till next week. What I was gonna say is you can look into buying buying DraftKings calls and holding them through next week and taking a bit of advantage of the earnings run up, as well as taking advantage of this 36 node that's quite strong. So yeah, I think DraftKings, as long as you're doing 1 to 2 weeks, sell before earnings, it's looking pretty solid. 35. You're thinking 35 like where this other resistance is? Like this level? I guess the reason I say 34, 34.5 is because we already have some decent volume at both of those. So then the way I trade when I enter these calls, if I see that we're already, let's say like we're tapping 34, I'm already selling. Oh, 35 for the strike. This week or next week? If you're saying this week, I would not recommend 35s just because of that 34 and 34.5 nodes that I just mentioned. If you're doing next week, 35 is safer, yeah. Because currently that 36 node is the only one I see. Yeah, but I guess my approach would be if we do end up tapping that 32.5, verified, the setup still looks intact. And whenever that tap happens, then I'll probably be trying to just grab closest to money next week. But then also that's as close as I can to the money. So I would have to see how much 34, 34.5, 35 costs. But all of them probably have potential. Oh shoot, someone's Muted. 1 second. Yeah, so I mean, for those of you larger portfolios, yeah, just buy at the money at that point.
What am I doing?
No, not you, Dylan.
No, I'm serious.
For
What am I buying?
DraftKings, I don't know if I'd
Ew,
buy
fuck no.
DraftKings. We've tested that level quite a few times, but I was
Yeah,
saying
no, I'm
if
good, thanks.
I think DraftKings a couple weeks ago Glitch played it actually on his like shares thing. What's that thing called? Whatever the portfolio is that like people can tail him on. So yeah, like at that point it was a much stronger play because that was our first and second bounce off of that level. By now we'd be doing this would be fourth tap. So yeah, dub invest. That's what
I'm
it's called.
currently short about 1.1 million shares.
On what? On DraftKings?
Yeah.
Anji,
Bro, you're shorting
Sonu udhar hai,
gambling?
sahi ne kamre ch.
Holy. 1 second.
I don't speak that. I got him.
Thanks. Thanks, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm short about 1.1 million on DraftKings from 43.
Josh is asking why you size so light.
Because I'm a pussy.
uh,
No, this company's a short into the ground.
Oh, so yeah, maybe don't go against Dylan. Typically knows what he's doing.
No, go against me. I make more money that way.
He's saying that selfishly. I gotta warn them.
Yeah, I want to sell sell my shares into them, and I want to sell premium against them. Need liquidity out here.
All right, y'all. In that case, avoid DraftKings. You're gonna get cooked by Dylan. Intel. No, I didn't go over Intel. Let me do that.
No, you'll get cooked by Peak 6 though.
What is that?
Peak 6 and Susquehanna are short this as well.
I don't even know what that is. Is that a
The
fund?
2 largest institutional derivatives desks in the world.
Peak 6. Oh, I gotta.
They trade more institutional level derivatives than JPM.
Got you. I gotta look into that stuff, man. I don't know any of the macro mechanic stuff. Intel. Oh man, I don't know if I like this. Yeah, Intel. I would say the great play was on Friday, where we retested this resistance, held a support, this like 38-ish level. For the rest of the week, I mean, yeah, like we do have pretty large node upside on 45 and even 50. At least in its current state, I would want to see 40, see us break above 40 and hold that level for a play on Intel. But yeah, to me, I think chart-wise, like it looked great on Friday. I don't know what was going on overnight. Was this overnight or is this just? I know sometimes it shows up. Okay, I don't know what news happened Thursday night, but yeah, it pumped, reversed, and then that on that retest of 38, that would have been best entry on Intel. So I would say because we missed that initial reversal, you're probably gonna want to wait for a 40 break. Oh, it was earnings. Okay, that makes more sense. Wait, what? Oh, okay, got you. But yeah, now, I would probably want to wait for that 40 break above and then hold of that level for Intel. And the reason I say that, like, the reason I'm not saying like, oh, just like go for calls immediately is because, if this 40 level just continues to grow and acts as a ceiling, then, we want to make sure it's established as a floor and then we can try to target some of these upside nodes. If King node is on OPEX, do you discount that? Rami. Yeah, so typically I'm playing like 1 to 2 weeks out. So then Even if there is a king node on OPEX, I'm still looking at where's the major volume for the week that I'm looking at, right? So like if I'm talking weeklies right now on Intel, I'm looking at everything that expires this month, right? So yeah, I mean, I obviously the king node is on OPEX, but these OPEX nodes tend to be very large positions and quite extreme to either side, right? So if I'm taking a much shorter dated play, I'll basically ignore them. What the Dylan's asking me to. All right. 1 second.
No, keep going through your normal thing.
Nah, this is normal thing. I'm too lazy to go through all the tickers today, so I'm just gonna be doing like just whatever people ask for. Arista, what the hell? Wait, let me look at the chart. One. Is Arista at all-time highs? Yeah,
Not quite, but
close to it.
I just opened up a good $25 million short today on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say like this double top would probably be pretty strong. Let me see here. These nodes are quite weak looking at the maps, but oh, I guess these are overnight wicks. Seems like, or am I too? Oh no, they're not. But it was like open pump and drop both times. But yeah, so I guess on daily candles, yeah, that's around where we're seeing bodies. Yeah, so Arista for double top looks quite good. If you want to be safe, you can wait for this 165 node to tap instead of this liquidity at the double top. That's more as personal preference. And typically, I'll always wait for this, I guess, quote unquote, safest entry. So then I'll take whatever's the lowest entry. So if I'm playing puts, I'd probably just wait for that 165 node to tap and then reject. But yeah, if it's this 162 5 ish, the double top is also chart wise good spot to play the reject. Let me see. The OPEX nodes are a bit funky on this one. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I'd short this a month out. Oh, but you could actually. It has very strong downside pull on OPEX. I'd also want to see a bit more volume step in over the next couple weeks, though. So I don't know if I would take this, but again, Dylan trades better than I don't know what 99% of servers. So also listen to what he's doing. Oh, shoot. Arc. Wait, what? It's not in here. Yeah. Is Arc the ETF that has like Tesla and all of those? I think. Let me see here. So yeah, Arc has a level around 90. Whoops, I drew this wrong. So this was resistance a couple times last week. It has some volume on Gex. It's pretty weak. Honestly, on Gex it looks okay. Vex it's really weak. We do have some pretty good downside. Now, this 80 node would be insane. I don't know how contracts pricing is. I usually don't play many ETFs, but if if you do look for a play on downside on this, yeah, just be cautious with this 87, 88 level if you're playing weeklies as a potential spots of sort of support where price can catch support. Um, and yeah, I mean, it does like we're pretty biased downwards. Just be cautious with some of these intermediate nodes stepping in and holding. Oh shoot. Okay, Dylan's going through these alphabetically. He's about to send a ton of stuff. Okay, American Express. Okay, American Express had good earnings last week. Pumped off that. Looks like they retested this 350 very briefly. What day was this? Sorry, let me get this drawn out. Yeah, so retested this 349 on Wednesday. So actually that was great play there. Purely off the chart. And right now it's looks like it's overshot our notes for this week. Yeah, so again I guess on these kind of setups, on these overshoots, I usually don't play them personally because I much prefer seeing some kind of ceiling step in before trying to short. I think Glitch is better at playing these sort of node oversheets. But yeah, definitely like down towards 350, 352, we have pretty strong pulls still. The only thing I'd watch out for on American Express is if any of these nodes start rolling higher, especially as 342 rolling towards the 350. Some of that volume to shift upwards, but looking at 350 for another bounce is also another option if we do get some kind of pullback here throughout the week. Okay, 1 second. Let me go see what's in the trading chat. Oh, bruh. It was just, yeah, never mind. It's just V Pandura. All right, 1 sec. Let me go back towards. Let me go back to the voice channel chat. Bruh. Alright, Dylan's gonna make me go through this whole fucking thing. Alright, Baidu. Yeah, so Baidu gapped up with, all of China and the market in general. Looking, continuing through the week. We do have a pretty strong level at 125. Yeah, it's actually at 125. I like it quite a bit. Sorry, let me delete some of these lines. Yeah, so it's 125. Again, with these Chinese stickers, there's a ton of gaps, but it was a high of day about a bit more than a month ago, held as a support there. So you get a retest of that 125 level. I'd be pretty interested to long. This 134 level has good volume as well. I don't know if I would short it. It would depend a lot on this 140 level. So if we approach this 134, and I'm seeing this 140 got, shrunk off, then I'd be more convinced to short. If I see this 140's grown a lot stronger, I would probably just stay away from the map at that point because, at that point you're trying to play bounce rejection off this intermediate node, which those just tend to have a bit higher probability of just blowing through at times. So I'd probably, yeah, I would track that 140 node if you're looking for that. If you're looking for the 135 rejection, just keep an eye on that 140 node and how it develops. Give me a second. Okay. BIBB. I don't know what this is. Biogen. How long has this thing been seeding? Oh, okay. It's been a good while. Yeah, so for this ticker, yeah, this OPEX node is super interesting. Down at 125. Yeah, but ignoring that, I'd probably just keep an eye on this 160. Let me think about this. There's a 167 node that has decent volume. I'm just not seeing much of a floor here, so let me take a look. Yeah, so we do have a pretty strong level, say here. At around 150, those previous resistance, support once, resistance again. So yeah, I would say if we can claim 150, hold it for a bounce, then you can start taking a look towards 167. But yeah, if we keep hovering just under or around 150, I'd really want to see like a cleaner break and retest there. The other thing I'll say is if this move does start pushing upwards, yeah, be aware of this 160 level as somewhere where you want to start trimming. Instead of just full holding for that peak node at 167. Okay, Caterpillar. Oh, whoops. Yeah, Caterpillar. So Caterpillar, I have an alert at 510. This has got to be old. It's not valid anymore. It seems now there's a tiny bit of volume down at 520. But yeah, the majority seems to be stacked up towards sort of this 530 range, 530 area, and this 545. So yeah, this one could be a case of if we claim this 532, 530-ish, you can start looking. Sorry, let me mute. Okay. Yeah, then you can look long. Of course, trim around 545, and then if we keep pushing there, then look at runners. But the 545 level should be pretty tricky to get through because it is also double top here. So yeah, I would expect pretty strong. I'd expect there's pretty fairly high chance of reversal there on that double top. Okay, Caterpillar. Okay, Rocket. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, Rocket's actually very nice setup. 1 second here. Yeah, so this one's like pretty clear setup of, we have a downside node at 16, which was resistance about 4 times, or support. We also have our upside target towards 21. So 21, or honestly, you can even just target this wick here at 20.5. So yeah, pretty fairly strong levels on both, and especially very strong nodes. So yeah, like this is a pretty clear example of where if we're in the middle of the range, you want to just wait till one side of that range gets tapped and then look for longs. Now, the other thing I'd say too is if we tap downside at 16, I'd honestly be a bit surprised if we do, but if we do, you can also look at this as a longer dated play because you do have some pretty strong nodes on OPEX, and all of them are over $20, right? So I don't know contract pricing on this, but if it's something where eight, 19, $18 calls a month out are affordable, that looks quite good. If you want something on the safer side. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, moving on from Rocket EOSE. Yeah, so in terms of EOSE on the heat map side, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not even 2 weeks old. I wouldn't even trust some of these maps. I mean, I'll take a look. But typically, these maps take some time to accumulate data, so you don't want to be basing too much of your trading off of them until after about 2 to 3 months. Let me see here. So yeah, I mean, to me, OSC looks to be consolidating a bit here. I know it's been pretty volatile past 2 weeks, so I'd probably not trade it. I mean, I guess if you get some kind of breakout, break and retest, or if we tap this level here, potentially at 15, which does line up with these, the fairly strong node on GEX and VEX. But again, with the ticker being added so recently, I likely would not be very interested in playing EOSE. BMNR. Yeah, so BMNR was moving very well last week. Let me check about this week. Yeah, so BMNR looks a lot worse this week. The only play I'd really see here is if we can break and retest off 55. So we rejected off 55 last week, and actually a couple times in the past as well. Yeah, reason I don't like this map is even if we keep pushing upwards, I mean, one, I don't like the rejection on 55 because we've tested it 2 times already, so that'd be third test. Two, I don't like a push past or rejection is because we have all these intermediate nodes. Like we don't have a very large range in both directions. It's just there's a lot of stack nodes at each dollar strike. So I probably would not be so interested. Yeah, I'm not interested at all in BMNR. Give me a second here. Coinbase. So Coinbase, these nodes are not super strong on GEX at least, but VEX does have some pretty nice nodes to the upside. Even though it doesn't look like it, just due to the strong yellow node giving the whole map a purple color. But this is an OPEX node. Oh wait, is there coin earnings this week? Oh, yeah, I probably wouldn't play coin then. But 372 has decent volume. It's 400 and 395 especially have very good volume. So I could see coin pushing higher this week, especially if we use that 362, 365 as sort of a support. But due to it having earnings this week, I wouldn't play that at all. Yeah. ALAB. Wow. Okay, ALAB has some crazy contracts for. There's a crazy node for OPEX. Give me a second here. Yeah, so I guess my preferred play on ALAB would probably just be if we retest this 160 level. Previous support, resistance, and then now hold it again as support. And because it's sort of the lowest node with major volume on GEX and VEX, right? So actually, yeah, ALAB, I don't mind at all if we retest that 160. Now, if we don't, again, if we don't and we keep pushing, there's a lot of intermediate nodes. So I personally wouldn't be too curious at trying to play any of those. That's not to say you can't though. It's just we have to manage, especially around entry. You'd really have to be looking on: are we truly rejecting, breaking through, or retesting, etc. So ALAB, I would want to see some more upside growth there, probably. Okay. Okay. Continuing, so DoorDash. Hold up. Okay, where was I? DoorDash. Yeah, so DoorDash. At least based on the maps for this week, it seems we have pretty decent floor at this 255, 257 area. The only caution there is if we come back down to retest that, I'd be looking at all of these nodes under like this 237 to 245 range. That all have a bit of volume right now, but if they start stacking volume and growing a lot as we approach 255, I'd be a lot more cautious about taking calls there. The safer play, at least based on the heat maps, is if we start going towards this 275, or sorry, 277 and 275 node combined. There's not much more volume above, and so that might be a potential spot for nice rejection. Okay, DoorDash, Enphase. Oh, Enphase. Okay, so Enphase has very little volume. Okay, yeah, so Enphase has a pretty weak VEX set of nodes for this week. On the GEX side, actually, let me look at the chart first. Let's see here. Yeah, we do have this 35 level. Which held the support a couple times quite strongly past few weeks. But we also have this level around here. Yeah, at around 38, where we've had a lot of, I guess, like a pretty strong ceiling over the past few weeks. So, but we have tested it quite a few times. So, break and retest at that level could also be quite nice. Or you could try to just play that range, but they're very very low volume on these nodes, so I wouldn't look too hard at Enphase, honestly. Okay, so General Electric. Wait, what? Sony been seeding 12 days? Oh, thought I asked for General Electric a while ago. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Glitch seeded Vernova because I asked him to, but I thought I had asked him to seed GE at the same time. Yeah, no, I must have forgot. Yeah, so General Electric, let me take a look here. It looks like we held here pretty well as resistance. It's now sort of flipped as a support. But we do have this wick here. The issue is these maps are not giving me a pretty good ceiling. So obviously like this 295 has decent volume towards downside. But on the upside I have 420, or no, sorry, 320, 327, and even 335 have decent volume. So I would like maybe more of that volume to concentrate at 320 so we can get a rejection there. Yeah, so I guess not much else to say on General Electric based on these notes. Okay. So Google, oh well, Google Jill went over, so I'm not gonna spend time on that one. Iran. So I know this one moved. I think people had played it last week. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So Iran. Let me see here. Yes, Iran has a very strong floor towards 60. The 60 and 61 nodes stacked together are very strong. So I'd be pretty interested if we tap down there to take calls. The other strong levels are down at 51, 50-ish, where we've seen these couple of wicks here. Yeah, so right there at 50 basically, where we had, I think that was previous all-time high, and then it just flipped as support twice. But again, 50's quite distant from where we are now, so I'd probably be looking for something a bit closer as our nearest floor. So 60, I might consider, especially if we get a bit more volume there. But yeah, bounce off 60. I don't know. The rejection of 67 likely wouldn't play just because some of those nodes upside. So I'd probably avoid that one. But again, these are all, I guess their positions Dylan is in. I'm not sure when he answered a lot of these though, so. And I don't even know if I have same thesis he had when taking, so. Okay, so Eli Lilly, again, fairly low volume for notes this week. The OPEX is all over. We have some pretty strong nodes on both sides. Yeah, so for me, let me see, looking at the chart. So yeah, I mean, I don't, personally, I don't see much here. We have rejected this level a few times, up towards 833. But yeah, I don't have much of a
I have
bias.
put.
Or you have puts, Dylan,
Yeah.
off of this, what, a couple days ago or from earlier?
Yeah. I sold a box spread, so I'm financing via box spread and buying puts.
Off that 833, 830-ish
I
kind of.
think I did it off of like 80 or 822 or 823, but close enough.
Got you.
It took me a while to get filled.
Got you. So I mean, yeah, that
But yeah, did
level
a
as
box spread
resistance
and
does look
then
very good.
using that to finance puts.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, that level has held quite strong, so chart-wise, I can see it retracing quite a bit. And also, like, off of the crazy move it had about a month ago.
If you
It
probably
does,
draw a fib, we would
I
trace
think we hit the
75% of that, like top to
75.
bottom fib. Probably did like a 75% retracement if I'd assume, just looking
Oh,
at
the
it.
opposite direction.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Oh, are you saying the smaller one here?
I'm just visualizing. But your screen's blurry when I make it big.
Wait, what? I thought I had good quality on Discord.
You do when I make it smaller, but if I put you on my widescreen, it gets really blurry.
Oh, then that's useless though. Well, I'll look into that because I have a widescreen too. So then I would have thought.
Yeah, no, like I can't even. I mean, I can. Let me send you a screenshot.
I'm curious if you look on YouTube, is it better? It's not wondering what quality is there. Wait, what the?
It's your YouTube.
What?
It's your YouTube.
The screenshot you sent me is from YouTube or from
Oh,
Discord?
what is your YouTube? I'm gonna go look at
Oh,
YouTube.
oh. I just sent it to you. What you mean, bro? No subscribe? Sad.
It looks the same.
Damn. Well, I'll look into that later. All right. Dan, Dylan, you playing MSTR?
Yeah.
Oh hell no, man. I'll let you share this one, bro. I just skip MSTR every time I pull it up. Off of what? You played it this week or last week? Off of like 305? Or this week
Last
off of
week.
302-ish? 305 off of 305-ish last week?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm long
that
off
makes
of
sense.
305. Or wait,
Oh,
hold on. Am I
okay.
long? Long or short?
Wait.
Hold on. Where's my book? Yeah, I'm long.
Got you. For 305. Okay.
Took on some
Yeah.
drawdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's still holding this 270-ish, 280-ish. Yeah, I don't know how long dated, but yeah, looking out long term. Honestly, I don't
I'm
know
playing
last
it
time.
back to 350.
I don't know last time I looked at this chart. Long term, 350. Got you. I wonder. Yeah, damn, it did hold that level really well. Yeah, macro looks pretty good actually. All right.
Nico, you should look into box spreads for financing trades. It's actually fucking crazy.
Box spreads. What level
I'm gonna
options is
show
that
you a
though?
thing or two later.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna have
Just
to
ping
chat
me.
separate. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll ping you so we can chat about that. You stay up late too. So
Oh, I'll be up for another few hours.
yeah, same. All right. I'll go through the rest of what Dylan sent. There's only a few more, then probably end it. It's already been going 2 hours. Almost. All right, so ServiceNow. Let me pull up these maps. Bruh, what did I just do? All right. What the fuck? Let's see. Dylan, ServiceNow, you're playing upside after he broke this resistance and held it? Or am I reading this wrong?
Huh?
On ServiceNow, you're playing upside after we
Yeah.
broke out this resistance, held it as support. I assume you
Yeah.
went long off of like 930-ish. Okay.
933.
933. Okay, got you. So yeah, we did get a pretty good strong push, consolidated there a while. And it looks like we're pushing higher. Just needs to get above this like 950-ish.
It's gonna run to 1100.
But by when?
March.
How long dated? Oh, bruh, you playing? You playing macro, bro?
Of course. Can't day trade millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like my average
Yeah,
order
that makes
entry is
sense.
10 mil. I can't day trade that shit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think because, yeah, I guess for a shorter dated, for those of you watching, I don't know how interested I am in this. Just because we kind of already missed that bounce off.
If
Like
you
we kind of already missed that support
break
resistance
above
flip
960, just take calls up to 1,000.
above here. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Extend it as like a box all the way to the left. Like do it as a
rectangle
supply zone box. Yeah. From like 970 to 960 or
here.
yeah. Like if we can just pop above.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, so yeah, we held up pretty well. What was this? July, June. I don't know which one goes first. 6. Held it pretty well. Rejected it, and then so if we can pop back above. I see what you're saying. Okay, got you. PHM. This is like the pull T, whatever. Yeah. So PHM on the lower time frames does look like holding this level-ish. So yeah, that had been previous resistance a couple times. It looks like we're
Yeah,
holding it now
I'm long off of
support
121.
120. Yeah, so we're holding this now support. I guess yeah, like Jill will probably say this is a wedge. Let me
We break
see
through 110, I'll close.
to the downside. Oh, this wick here, basically. Actually, you're probably not looking at overnight wicks. I don't think you're probably looking daily, weekly. Okay. But yeah, like heat map wise, let me see here. It's 119, 120. Looks like next week is also has some volume. And then going out towards OPEX, we are biased upwards there as well. So yeah, I'd probably be watching. Yeah, I guess around this 129, 130-ish. We start having issues towards upside. Okay. PHM, Reddit. Nah. Reddit map. Didn't Reddit get news again last week? Oh no, that was Roblox. So Reddit actually hovered around 200 a while. Like I remember for weeks I've been looking at this of like, oh, bounce off 200, bounce off 200. I think, I think somebody played it actually this Thursday, or not this Thursday, but like this October 8th, October 9th. I'm pretty sure somebody caught that bounce. It might have been CGG, if my memory's good. But yeah, it looks like we finally did consolidate enough, get that strong bounce off 200-ish, like 195, 200. Let me see, we're approaching this way. But yeah, I'd say like we finally got sort of the move that's sort of been being hinted for a while. It does have pretty good upside continuing into next week towards 250. Yeah, honestly, towards 250-ish. For this week, at least
This one's
node-wise,
run already a bit. I've got it at 204.
yeah. Yeah, like that 200 range was pretty good. Entry long. If you're looking, so yeah, it's more of a chase at this point. If you want to play it off one of these wicks, I guess you could. It's like this 215 or 216 is possible. But again, it's pretty light on volume this week, so I probably wouldn't, even though it does have pretty good bias upwards, I would want a bit of a stronger floor if I'm going to take anything on Reddit. RH. Let me look here. So this have pretty good targets upside. it looks like over the last few weeks, it held sort of like this 170-ish. Let me see here. Actually, give me a second on this one. Damn, not bad. Yeah, so I'm unsure what this looked like last week. It's already ran a good bit. So probably last week was our best entry. Probably what we can look for now is this previous resistance. Well, that's not where I drew that. Whoops. Here to flip towards support. Again, like chart-wise, pretty good level. Not seeing much volume on it as a floor on the heat map, so you know, the setup's a bit on riskier side if you're trying to chase now that we've already ran a bit. If we're able to hold this, like get some volume down there as a floor though, we do have some pretty nice upside targets towards like 195, 200. So looking decent there. I would just want a bit better of a floor to form there. Let me see here. SCDG. I don't know what this ticker is. So yeah, this one's been chopping quite a while. But yeah, it looks like this sort of this zone that I drew held as resistance a few times, has been holding quite well as support for a few weeks. So we'd probably be looking here. Oh, actually, we do have this upside as well. So let me see. Dylan, you shorted this off of this resistance upside? Or did you get in earlier?
What's up, Buttercup?
When did you enter this last week? Off this resistance upside?
Which
or are
one
you
is
playing
this?
the SE Solar or whatever? Or are you playing this bounce off 35, 36-ish kind of zone here? It's actually this bounce off 35, 36 looks really good.
No, I'm playing this bitch down to like 20.
Oh, okay. So you're playing off of this resistance upside.
Yeah. Got it
Gotcha.
at 37.
Oh, so you
Fortunately.
answer around here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It wasn't the greatest of entries. I'm not going to lie to you.
They can't.
I tried real hard, though.
They can't all be.
No, I'm writing this thing down to the 20s.
Is that a sector thing? Or just this company?
Just one.
Okay.
Just watch and let it happen.
Yeah, but if it's a sector thing, bro, I'm gonna go short everything. Like Sunrun also
Just
ran crazy this
let it
year, all
happen.
that stuff. Oh, I guess you were
Wait,
short.
are these
You
live
sure on?
streams recorded?
Yeah. Do you need it privated?
No, it's okay. I just was gonna say something that potentially would get you banned, so I'm not going to.
I appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, final one's workday. Yeah, because I don't know how to trim live streams. I'm not good with YouTube, so yeah, don't get me banned. Workday, damn Workday all over the place.
When I'm in at 33.
You're not what? Oh, you're long off 33, right?
Yeah.
Off of kind of like this zone, I guess, right?
Yeah, I bought this one end of September though.
End of September. Oh, okay, when we first came and tapped it.
Yeah.
Got you.
Been real confusing since.
Yeah, it's chopped around quite a bit.
Like my girlfriend trying to pick out a restaurant or an outfit and just fucking everywhere. And then leaving wakes of disaster behind.
Yeah.
For the women in this chat, by the way, there is no damn way y'all need that many fucking products. I'm just saying. There is no way. I know I started a fight.
Loon's in there. Who else?
I don't care, bro. I've been washing my
Dana's in
face
here.
with the same goddamn shampoo for the last 10 years.
Dog with shampoo, man. Come on, dog.
Now I have a moisturizer and a charcoal cleanser. I ain't gonna lie, but it ain't my fault.
Bro.
It's her fault.
What
It's her fault, not mine.
This dude. 5 shampoos.
See, this is my whole point. Now, don't get me
What
wrong. I
the-
get the hair. Like, dry out, you need an oily hair mask, like all that stuff for the hair. I get it.
Nah, bro. Maximum 2 products
Like,
on hair.
if someone has a beard, I use oil. I use, conditioner and hydration shit. Otherwise, it'll be bad. But, come on. My counter used to be clean. Now there's just hair and products everywhere.
Yeah, bro.
It's a
do
simple
this.
man. Toothbrush, toothpaste, and mouthwash. That's all I needed out there. Anyway. Yeah, I'm about to ride NASDAQ long all night. Hold on.
Let me see. Oh yeah. Back to work day. I'd probably be looking for that 250 to sweep if you're gonna be looking short on it. Otherwise, this map is kind of a mess. Like there's nodes everywhere. Yeah, non-sulfates. I'll be honest, I don't even know what that is, Loon. I'll just be hitting
I just do crack cocaine.
minimal products. Shampoo only.
If it's good enough for ducks, it's good enough for me.
Shampoo only, this dude.
Dawn dish soap, my guy.
Hell no.
I'll use Dawn dish soap.
Bro, you're gonna die. You're gonna die due to Dylan advice. Visa. What the? Give me a second here. Go for broke. I don't know why I have this alert on Visa.
Oh, Visa might be a sleeper.
Towards up.
I've been watching it. I don't know where to get in on it at. Not gonna lie.
Fuck. Let me zoom out though.
But I see the vision.
It does have some strong levels here, actually. I don't know what these are for. I don't know if I've ever played Visa, I'll be honest. But yeah, it looks like it has a strong upside over the next week or two into OPEX too. So if we can use this 347-ish, or even this 350 as floor, flip that towards a floor, Visa could have pretty good upside. Oh, bruh. Oh, you're right, Loon. His earnings tomorrow. Okay, well, hopefully earnings doesn't ruin it, but we'll see what happens after tomorrow. Oh, 1 second. Let me. Oh, my bad. I forgot I had YouTube chat. My bad, Luis. This dude asked for A firm like an hour ago. My fault, man.
Alright, I'm jumping out of here.
See you, Dylan.
Again. Bye.
10:30. The fuck. So yeah, A firm has a pretty strong level around 79.80. So I'd probably. Oh, actually, let me wait. I take that back. Yeah, we don't really have much downside pull. You know, I would have liked A firm. This 84 node with decent volume above and just the lack of downside volume is giving me a bit of hesitation. I still think a rejection off 80 is possible. Just I'd probably be trimming pretty aggressively if I was doing that. If I was taking that play, Luis. Um, Yo, Josh, bruh. Wait, what? Potential China news. The China news already happened. Didn't all these things already pump? Yeah, look, I saw my alert at 32 on JD. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna hit though, but that would be the best entry. But yeah, like with the gap up over weekend and all of that, I think JD would be pretty difficult to get that much of a retrace. Okay, Walmart. Give me a second here. So Walmart, I don't know what this line is from. Oh, I guess I was hoping for a double top last week. That's not happening. So yeah, Walmart pumped heavy. Probably what I'd be looking for on Walmart is for any kind of one of these retracement levels to hit. Oh, actually, this level also looks good. Damn, this 104 does look kind of good. Oh, this map is so weird. So yeah, 104 has good volume. So honestly, like, I would have been tempted to long off of it. Looks like we didn't tap it though. We tapped just above. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure with Walmart. Like, we do have some good downs. Like, there's some strong nodes still towards downside. The upside, there's a few as well, so it's pretty split on Vex, even on Gex. Seems to have a lot of strong nodes a bit further out. Its earnings to the 20th. Yeah, so it seems to have. Actually, it's kind of weird. It has some very strong upside the week before earnings. I'm not too sure about Walmart. Also, I think could also be pretty impacted with news from the China stuff. So this 104 level doesn't look bad to long, but typically I'd be wanting a bit of a deeper retrace before flipping long. But we do have this 104 node, so it could be a sign that we will get a pretty nice bounce. This 104, or maybe hunt a little deeper and hit this first golden pocket. BITF. Okay, BITF. Oh, damn. So I held this 370 level actually really well. I guess I would have been waiting for this 360 to tap, but it never did before bouncing. Yeah, you can look for a retest of $4, so like this wick here. But since we just came from that, last week we sort of bounced out 375, came from that $4 area. If we push towards $5.50, I'm not sure this $4 will retap. So, I'll probably wait for $4 to tap. I'll set an alert. But yeah, I'm a bit afraid it may just keep running. Yeah. So not much else to say there. The other thing I'd say is BITF hasn't been seeding very long. Okay, this is a week. You might want to just take back everything I just said. I'll take it back, but take it with a grain of salt. Okay, just gonna check a couple other tickers that are usually gonna check some of the quantum stuff. Sometimes it's moving pretty crazy, but this map is actually this map is insane. Yeah, I don't know. We have some very large upside. We did come from some of those nodes a couple weeks ago. Actually, my bad. Forget we have this replay now. So let me see, 46. Okay. Give me a second here. Looking through some of these nodes. Yeah, so 46 tailed off pretty heavy. Yeah, even for this week, the 45 tailed off a little bit, but this 55 and 50 node, they seem to get decent volume. Yeah, Rigetti, I wouldn't be messing with it. Sometimes it has very clean maps, but sometimes not. IonQ as well, not liking it too much. Datadog, neither. Trying to think what else I'll typically play. Yeah, snow doesn't look too good either. We're in the middle of the range. Take two. Okay, take two looks pretty clean for upside. Let me see if I can find a good floor. So yeah, like a great floor on take two would be out here. This 250 level. I don't know if we'll retrace that far. But chart-wise, I'd like that as an entry. Bruh. Wait 1 second. Yeah, let me see. I feel like this is retraced too deep. I guess it is holding. Yeah, I guess like we are holding this levels here. From like 254-ish. That was sort of previous support, sort of acting support again. Yeah, I'll probably wait for 250. Just think it's a bit of a cleaner level, but take two definitely has upside over the next week or two. Oh, next week has earnings, so yeah, this is potentially like an earnings run-up kind of play, but you know, for a $20 move, even though it's a bit more expensive, I would expect these contracts move quite well. Let me go check prices on them right now. So we're looking for next week. I don't know, like 280s, 290s. Yeah, it's like 285 next week. Is that like 200? So not bad, honestly. Honestly, take two looks pretty decent. Yeah, maybe. Sorry, I'm gonna watch list that. But yeah, I would like for it to be perfect play. I would like a bit of a stronger floor to show up, but either way, like the potential upside is quite large. So if we can form some kind of floor this week, it would be quite nice over the next couple weeks. Okay, yeah. So let me check. Oh, ASML. So again, ASML, it was recently added. Yeah, within a week ago. So, I mean, I'll give the interpretation of the map right now, but I wouldn't trust it too much just because it's, you know, it's building a map off of 1 week of data. So many times this gives sort of like an incomplete picture. So just take that warning. It does look like upside is favored. I would say, especially if we can break this 1060-ish and hold above. Yeah, then we can definitely target. Looks like 1100. Again, like this 1150 is the biggest node I realize, but 1100 still has decent volume. So the way I typically, you know, if I were to take entry long here, I'm already trimming out most of position at 1100. In the chance this volume rolls lower, or we reject and never quite get above, or whatever it may be. That's just the manner in which I trade it, as I'm a bit more conservative. Okay, Home Depot. Yeah, and I think I'll do a few more, but I'm probably gonna. I don't want to be on past 11. I have to do some other work. Yeah, so Home Depot. Actually, Home Depot looks great for like this is a clear example of a stair stepping setup, right? Where you know we're seeing nodes stack from 380 to 395 this week. Next week we go 385 to 400. The week after, like this 410, 400 have some volume, and even OPEX we have a bit of volume, 390 upwards. So, and it's more clear on VEX, right? So like VEX this week we're looking at 392, 395 low of range. Low of the upper range. Next week we're looking 397-ish. The week after 400 or 410. So And that's the low side of the range, right? Like the upside is a bit higher even. So this is like a pretty good example of a map where if you're someone who wants longer, sort of longer dated plays, or even someone who's buying shares, or like leveraged shares, these are the kind of maps you want to be looking for, sort of to take and hold a bit longer, right? So what you can do here, there's a couple different ways you can play it, right? If you want to wait for this 380 tap, like this 380 node tap, which would be sort of like this 0.707 fib, you can do that. The other option would be you can sort of play this support resistance right here at around 382. So, previous resistance, now support. See if we get another tap of it and then long from there. And I guess, yeah, the absolute most conservative thing is if you just wait for a full double bottom down here at 375-ish, 374. But, with the heat maps showing a floor at 380, I don't know if I'd wait much under that, but yeah, but yeah, definitely Home Depot looks quite good, to be honest. So good find. What's this? Trust your gut. Okay, anything else? Or any general questions from anybody that I can answer in the next 10 to 15 minutes? Okay, yeah, hopefully it was helpful. Today I didn't go through all the tickers because I'm tired, but Wednesday I'll do that. So today it'll probably be pretty limited watch list, but Jewel found like a good 15-ish setups. And yeah, for Wednesday I'll probably do more of what I did last week, where I'm just spamming through all the maps and finding everything I like. But today was a bit more collaborative with Jewel shares him some of his stuff, Dylan as well. So Noah, any tickers I'd recommend adding to your watch list? Noah, let me get back to you on that. I'll PM you, or I'll send a message in the general chat. I don't, off memory, I don't know which tickers Jewel has, so let me take a look at his list and then I'll add anything that I've played that I know has pretty good volume and stuff, because I typically play almost anything, whether it has good volume or not. But I know for most people, they want to have like a condensed watch list with all of the, quote unquote, better tickers, right? So I'll look at what Jewel has, add any that I have traded often in the past, and then I'll send that out. Yeah, no problem, Noah. Are these recorded? Yes. Yeah, 1 second. Go for broke. Yeah, I just sent you the YouTube link. So I think even if you go right now, you can do a playback I don't know what it's called, but like you can go watch them back. Yeah, no problem. Thanks everyone for joining. Yeah, any other questions, or otherwise I'll cut it here. And yeah, Wednesday I'll do another session. No, I have to do some other work, but yeah, I'll try to sleep before, I don't know, 1 a.m. today, hopefully. All right, thanks everyone. I'll cut the YouTube now. Appreciate everyone joining, and